The reason people like music is either because it makes them feel good or because they can relate to it. And usually I would say it's the latter. But even if it's just music that makes you feel good, feeling good is a pretty good goal for life.
Mama, need to control myself. Been trying to hide myself. Got to unwind myself. Well, I am so sick and tired of living a lie. Mama, give me some words that I can use to get by. Said you need.
I got my first guitar when I was about 4 years old. My mom got it for me for Christmas. It was a little, I believe the brand was Mark II. It was a really common one to find at the time. I know quite a few people who had the exact same one that I had. And it was just a cheap little old guitar. And at the time, I didn't know anything about guitar. I thought it had 6 strings on it, so that way if you broke one, you had more on there to go. And that's not the way it works, in case you didn't know that. So that was really my first exposure to the guitar. And even though I didn't know how to play it, it really got me interested in it. And then I got my first electric guitar when I was probably about 9 or 10. And that's when I really took it seriously and took a few lessons and started learning how to play. And that's been nothing but 6 strings ever since. So for a few years I just abandoned country music altogether. And I thought rock and roll was it. And it helped me as far as playing guitar went, because I learned how to play lead and really got more dynamic stuff going on in my playing. So it helped from that standpoint. But then when my mom got remarried to my stepdad, and I found out he was a bluegrass player, and I got that influence from him. And this has only been 2009, so it hasn't been that long ago really in the grand scheme of things. When I picked up bluegrass from him, I also kind of started letting the country back in, and for a while I kind of tried to say that I played everything, and I realized that does not work. And so I really just started listening to what they call Americana, which is a good combination of country and rock and blues and bluegrass and folk. And it really encompassed everything that I was about and everything that I loved. And so that's when I really found what my style was and what I could contribute to the music world. If you stay in the same place, it might please some of the people who like your music, but it gets old. It gets real old. So you have to be consistent, but you got to keep it fresh.
Well, country music singers have always been a real good family. Lately, as some of my kinfolk have disowned a few others than me.
I've been pretty lucky that a lot of places there are always a few people who do listen, and they listen to the lyrics and they pay attention. They seem to be getting into it, and, you know, they'll participate, they'll sing along or whatever, and that's always my goal with my original music, especially because I want people to hear what I've got to say. And they may hate it, who knows? They may hate every song that I write, but I want them to at least hear it. One of my favorite guitar players, his name's Tommy Emmanuel, and he said something once that just gave me chills. He said, it doesn't matter what you do, at the end of the night, the one thing you want to hear is, when are you coming back?
Said you need to find your heart. Got to let it shine. Where me to go searching for what you left behind. When you had some good time, suffer through some pain, just like when there's sunshine, you got to have some rain.
I don't put music above family or God, that's for sure, because you know that's not really a good way to go. If you know, if you've got everything secondary to music, then you're probably not going to have too good of a life if you're just relying on that. But because of the fact that I view music as being life and about life, I can always, regardless of what mood I'm in on a particular day or what happens on a particular day, there's a song for that. Music is the first thing that I latched onto it and said, this is something I could do with my life, and regardless of what other phases or hobbies I went through, it's the only thing that's ever stuck with me. So it's got to be everything to me, otherwise I wouldn't still be doing it.
Got to have some rain. Life is rough, a lot of us now friends, this is nothing new. World and blues, me and you, let these words ring through. There's always a cloud hanging up in the sky.